Tomorrow, the au pair tied to the Brendan Banfield trial will be sentenced. Investigators say the two worked together to kill Banfield's wife and another man.
Judge Penney Azcarate, the same judge from the trial, will be presiding over tomorrow's sentencing. Now, you may know her as the judge from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Well, this afternoon, she sat down with our Katie Lusso to talk about why she allowed cameras in the courtroom.
I think my resume, some people would just put, oh, was the judge in the Johnny Depp trial.
She presided over one of, if not the most closely watched televised trials in Fairfax County. But Judge Penney Azcarate says
it was not the most important case by far in my 18 years.
It was, however, the first time a trial was televised live, start to finish in Fairfax County. It drew in millions of viewers.
Are there any moments that stand out for you where you were like, oh my gosh, that did happen?
I never had on my bingo card to be a skit on SNL. I think that was a little over the top.
In January, she allowed cameras back into the courtroom to stream the Brendan Banfield murder trial live.
Really what I'm looking for is to keep the media circus and all the outside attention outside of the courtroom. And one of the best ways to do that is to have it be very transparent and have it televised.
But this is not a show.
I don't want to waste the jury's time anymore, or witnesses' time, or for that matter, my time.
You want to make sure everybody understands this is a courtroom, a court of law. We are here for a purpose.
How do you navigate the challenges of knowing so much is out there and also protecting the case?
It's very important to hone in with the jurors and focus on them, because that's the only issue with social media that you have to worry about is the jurors. But the orders are very clear.
She says she trusts the jurors because at the end of the day,
this is just not a sensational story. These are people's lives.
She says it's the work that she's done out of the spotlight that she's most proud of, especially the Veterans Treatment Docket. The program launched in 2013 and helps veterans address issues that led them into the justice system.
They went to war for our country, that they are having these issues, and it's really a duty of all of us to help them to heal.
She herself served in the Marines before going through law school, serving as a prosecutor, and going on to make history as the first female chief judge in Fairfax County.
As you can see from the photos, I look a little different than some of the past chief judges.
An honor she does not take lightly.
It's almost a responsibility of women judges or judges of color to go out and make sure that their voices are heard in the communities so they can be that example for little girls or anybody that wants to really say, hey, you know, there's somebody who looks like me, I can do that job.
After 18 years on the bench, she'll retire in July.
Leadership means knowing when it's time to pass the baton on so you can have new voices and new perspectives come to the bench.
When people hear your name,
yes, how
do you want them to think of you and remember you?
Knowing that they've come to my court, I wanted them to be prepared and be professional, but also that I was just fair, you know, that I push the judiciary on in a positive way a little further down the road.
Tomorrow morning, Judge Azcarate will decide Juliana Perez-Magalhaes' fate. Sentencing is set to begin at 11:30, and the outcome could have lasting consequences. Now we'll break down what's at stake and what we could hear inside that courtroom starting at 11 a.m. on WUSA9+.